So it's like literally brass tacks, right? Of like, you're not trying to acquire a college that's financially distressed. You're trying to acquire a partner that really brings something to the table. So maybe fast forward us in this timeline then
Sure.
of how
And
those
as
conversations.
as we
Yeah.
went into, we now go into the spring in April of 24. And Ursuline actually did not come up on our list because one of our additional criteria was size of school. And we were interested in looking at institutions that were over 1,000 students. And in the databases, Ursuline came up at 991. So we missed it in the data search. It missed
Literally a hair under.
it,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
but to their credit, and I do want to give credit to the Ursuline sisters, they were doing the same thing on their end, and they were looking for a partner. And this is where kind of the magic happened, because then I was contacted by, and they were using Core Education, and I was contacted by the consulting body they were using and said, "Hey, are you interested?" So as we started to look at those four criteria, mission of fit, absolutely. Ursuline Sisters, Catholic institution. When we were looking at finances, Ursuline College has no debt. Zero debt. They
Zero.
have no debt. When we looked at program mix, there was some programs that we don't offer we were interested in. And then when we look at geographic, Ursuline College is about 90 miles away. I get to Ursuline from my office in about an hour and 20 minutes. And we were worried about, cannibalization, quite frankly. We did a market analysis. We don't recruit well in Ohio. In Erie, Pennsylvania, Gannon University, we hardly get any students from Ohio. And as we dug into it a little deeper, Ohio is pretty generous with their financial aid, state aid. If a student crosses the border into Pennsylvania, they can't take it with them. So,
Yeah.
As you well know, how many middle-class families can walk away from the dollars that they're getting from the state? That was the barrier.
Okay. So Walter, this is fascinating because again, when we met this summer and you started telling this story, I'm thinking, wow, you were kind of assertive about it. You were kind of more creative about going out and finding these partners, but this is just not happening in higher ed. As you pointed out, the two buckets, right? Like, oh, we're all fine. Or by the way, we needed you to call yesterday. So, I'm thinking that your approach could be one way to bring the kind of M&A activity that, I think Michael and I really think we need to have in higher ed, and we just haven't had it, right? There's just not been enough M&A activity in higher ed. But so what do you think is stopping other universities from doing what you did and proactively going out and seeking partners before, by the way, they start to go down that doom loop and that somebody has to call them eventually, or that others around them start doing what you're doing, right? So it's at some point there seems to be a lot of institutions that are just sitting back and waiting. So what's stopping them from doing what you're doing?